Okay, welcome to the 14th in our journeys down the Old Shoreham Road to Enlightenment, the world's most open-minded podcast. Today we have something different for you. It's either going to be my greatest achievement or something really stupid. One of my favorite YouTube shows is Hot Ones on First We Feast. They are not going to have the likes of me on that show, so I thought I would do my own. Because I really like hot sauce. Because I don't know if you've heard, Lee, people like watching other people eat stuff on the internet. Have you heard of it?
Yep. Guilty as charged. I love it.
Who do you like watching? Who do you like watching people eat?
You know the famous one on YouTube, and there's been a couple of great WWE wrestlers on there, as well as, you know, Hollywood A-listers and so on. And yeah, there's been some great ones actually. There was I watched one the other day actually with Tom Holland. He was doing the challenge as well. But yeah, I'm a huge fan. Okay,
the premise of the show is simple. Some sort of movie star in front of 10 hot wings, each wing hotter than the last, while answering questions. And yeah, they make idiots of themselves in the meantime. So, well, we're going to do the same. Well, I'm going to do the same. Lee's not. How are you with spicy food, Lee?
I'm not that great, to be quite honest. It took me, I've been with my wife 20-something years, and for the first 10 years, whenever she ordered an Indian or a Chinese, I'd stick with, you know, the British section on the menu. Usually it was roast chicken and chips, and now I've, you know, gradually got into it. But yeah, I can't do hot. I'm a Nando's mild.
So what's your go-to, like, Chinese?
Oh, it's usually chicken chow mein.
Quite spicy.
Chicken chow mein, crispy chili chicken, which I could just about put up with.
Well, we're going to do the same. So not the same sauces that they do on the show, but very similar. Because we're in the UK and not America. I have 10 sauces right here. I think they are in the right order. If not, this might be a shorter video than but I think I've gotten kind of like 10 similar sauces to what they do on Hot Ones. But I couldn't do that, of course, if I couldn't have a lovely host to ask me questions. So I turned to the one only person who is stupider than me, Mr. Leigh Annell. Mr. Shaky Dad himself. How are you doing today, mate?
I'm doing all right. I've just got back from a night at London, which I don't know if you saw the photos. I went away and did the whole touristy thing, but more London Bridge. Haven't really stayed that end of London, and it was great. Lots of photos, good food, and good company. So yeah.
So what did you do and where did you go?
We stayed in I think it was called the Tower Suites by Blue Orchard, and it was right next to Tower Bridge, and we did a bit of a walk where you know, when you look on the maps where they say you are here, it doesn't look that far. And we did the walk from London Bridge to Waterloo, and you know, I walked with a cane due to illness, but at the same time there was the winter walk marathon where a load of people were walking and running too. There was a marathon through London. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And we kind of followed on a bit with them. Obviously we weren't involved, but we stopped off at Borough Market, which is the one place I've never been, and I loved it. The sounds, you know, with the trains on top, the sounds are there, the smells. Borough Market was a highlight for me personally. I loved it. The hustle and bustle, the food, it was amazing actually.
Oh no, the food there is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So we haven't seen each other for 25 years.
Yeah.
you know, face to face. This is
Yeah,
like
I think we've aged quite well, I think.
we work together in at Butlins, and I just want to know a couple of your highlights of Butlins.
Do you know what? It's very bizarre that back then we could go out all night. You know, we could work 12, 13, 14-hour shifts and go out till stupid o'clock in the morning and get up fresh faced. I missed it was a family, especially where we worked as well. You know, you were chucked in together, you were living together and working together. And that part of my life I'll always be thankful for, because it brought me out of myself, you know. And you know me very well. Some of the jobs I picked at Butlins weren't actually well suited for me. You know, being a waiter, you know, you were my boss at one point, and you saw how many plates of food I dropped that you put down to wastage. But I think it was the gift of the gab that kind of kept me in my job. But yeah, I miss it. I miss, you know, the family side of working together, and yeah.
Well, no, about that, you know, I came to get back to after the 6 months. I came back to Butlins, and I was tasked by Paul Edwards of you know, who ran the kind of like catering department, and
Yeah.
he said to me, who do you know that? Well, because we worked at the steak place, and the steak place restaurant, and he was like, you know, who do you know that would be, you know, could work on this? And we were having this conversation in the middle of the plaza, and you were going round the plaza restaurant, plaza thing, with a, you know, with a trolley, and I'm like, I want that guy. They didn't know this before, but we, you know, we've been friends a little bit before that, just by being around. And I said to them that, yeah, no, I want Leigh. And the woman that was in charge of the plaza was a woman called Val.
Val, that's it.
And I said to her, yeah, no, I want Leigh. And both her and Paul were like, really?
Really?
Everything. And we'll get into why you drop everything, maybe in a bit. But no, I said to her, look, you know, no, I really like him, and he's really, really good with the customers, and he might drop stuff, but he does, you know, he's really, really good with the customers, and he can sell shit. He can sell desserts and stuff like that. And they were like, yeah, you can fucking have him. And,
yeah. I think they said that to me. You know, yeah, you're moving. Hooray!
But no, I was like, you know, I like, you know, I like him, and you know, we really really get on, and I can trust him, and to be fair, you never dropped anything when you worked at the steak place.
Yeah, that's very true. It was a great there was a great team there, you know, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I worked in many jobs in Butlins, you know, and that was my favorite. We were a great little team, you know, and it was a great restaurant. And I remember you putting some photos up when Facebook first come about in, I think it was 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And there was me with an absolute messy shirt and 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 Sandy, good old Sandy.
Oh, Sandy.
And, wow.
Do you know where he is?
No.
No,
it's very bizarre. You know, I've managed to find a lot of people on Facebook, but sadly, yeah.
Oh,
and he was a character, wasn't he?
So yeah, no, I turn to you for to do this with, because so where am I at? Okay, so we're going to do the first hot wang. Yep. I've also got some some jalapenos as well. I'm going to eat as well. So we're going to do that.
Goodness, you are a
So-
glutton for punishment.
Yeah. So while I get the just come out of the oven, so hit me with the first question.
Right. Well, I've got 10 questions here. And obviously the first question is going to be, obviously you're a spice fan. What is your go-to dish, you know, in the way of spice? And, you know, what's the hottest thing you've ever eaten besides today? That was question one.
Okay, so the first sauce that we're going to do is I probably should have asked you this first, but the hottest sauce that Nando's do.
See, I can't even deal with that. So you're a brave man starting off.
So you can't?
No, I can do about mild. You know, if I push the boat out, but my mouth's on fire. I did say I'm not spicy.
One of my first questions was have you ever had a chicken Nando's?
Yeah. Yeah, I just keep with the mild.
So I've never been to a Nando's. Okay. My first, I've never been to a Nando's. They've just opened one down the road, but I've never been to it yet. So we're gonna put it on there. All right. So what's your question?
So obviously you're a spice fan. What is your go-to dish? And it's a two-part question. And what's the hottest thing you've ever eaten, apart from today, obviously, when you're going to obviously burn your insides out?
What's the hottest thing I've ever eaten? Well, I like the curry house around the corner, and they will always do me a really extra spicy kind of like chicken biryani.
Ah, so you're a regular there.
Yeah, but the hottest thing I've ever eaten, you could probably see it on my Facebook, was back home in Gisborough, of all places. They had a Naga chili curry, and yeah, I ate that, and it blew my mind out. And I was, you'd see like tears foaming. Yeah, but yeah, Nando's peri peri hot sauce. That's not bad. Oh, yeah, we'll ditch that. Next one.
Right, question two. Now, you've lived in a number of places, including Bognor Regis, you know, and obviously Notting Hill and a couple of other places, but you seem to have settled in Brighton for now. Why Brighton? What you know, why settle in Brighton, and what's Brighton got to offer? If you had to sail Brighton, not that you need to Brighton, you know, but if you had to sail Brighton, you know, what would you tell people?
It's the third time I've lived in Brighton. The first time was when Butlins kicked us out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we literally left on. I think you left before this, but they kicked everybody out when the bulldozers were coming in.
Oh yeah, yeah. When yeah, the renovations, yeah.
Renovations to where they put the dome on the top.
Yeah.
And I still haven't been back. I would love to go back and see what they've done since then, even though I'm not very far away. But it's so expensive to go in there.
I've been back a couple of times, and the first time I actually bumped into some people that still work there, that you know, that I knew, and it was a very odd feeling being back, you know, after these years. And we worked at the old, what I call the old Butlins, you know, and with the giant dome and everything else, I kind of lost my bearings for a little bit, and then, you know, but yeah. So you know, if you had to sell Brighton to somebody, you know, what?
So why did I
How
come
would you
to
sell
Brighton?
them?
I came to Brighton because for the first time I came because it was convenient. A couple of guys that I worked with, there were a couple, and they were like, oh, we need like a third person to kind of like, you know, do this two-person flat.
Right.
And it was organized by kind of Paul Edwards, who was the catering manager, and he said, you know, come to Brighton. We were going to Brighton a lot anyway, and he was like, you know, come to Brighton, and but these two guys need, you know, well, you know, Gary and Steve, who I worked with, and they wanted to kind of like go to Brighton and live and everything. And trying to think. So yeah, I went there for the first time, and then I moved away, and then came back. Well, moved back to Middlesbrough, and worked for Thistle Hotels. And when I worked for them, I did the management training scheme, and I came back down to Brighton to do that, and then I moved back from there to London, and yeah, no, a couple of years ago, I was like, you know, I went through a divorce, and it was awful, and but my therapist said to me, so you know, where are you at, and where were you really, really happy? And I was like, you know, I was really, really happy in Brighton. And she's like, you know, just go back there, and that's what I did. 5-6 years ago, 2015, and so 7 years ago, is it? So yeah, yeah, it was a really important journey for me.
So it obviously holds a special place in your heart, Brighton. Brighton, it feels like home now.
It does, yeah. Oh, what's this?
Right, what one have you got there then?
Okay, so this is a local sauce from Brighton Hot Sauce. It's called Mango.
Really? Oh wow. Keeping it local. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I've got a couple of these, and I've been really looking forward to this sauce, and I've kept it to. I've been saving it until this because, well, when I've seen it kind of like being advertised, I've saved it until something like this.
So that's one of those fruity ones, is it? The fruity, spicy sauces?
Yeah, no, it's got habaneros in it. It's got mango and yeah, other things. But yeah, I'm gonna chow down on this.
Spicy? Are you feeling it yet, or is that tame for you?
Oh, yeah, that's really hot.
Really? So the mango didn't hide the spiciness; it just, you know, infused it. Right. So you ready? Let's ask your next question while your mouth's on fire, shall we? Now, I know how passionate you are about live music and music acts, and I know you've been to a lot of places. But what's your all-time favorite? You know, your all-time favorite live event, you know, live band, and have you got a story behind it? You know.
Yeah. I proposed my wife or ex-wife. I proposed to my wife pretty much in the front row of the Reading Festival, 2005, 2006.
Okay.
While Pearl Jam was playing.
Oh wow!
And
feeling the heat now.
This is not looking good. I'm too. Right. So yeah, we okay. So yeah, no. I proposed to my wife in pretty much in the front row of the Reading Festival, 2005, 2006, when Pearl Jam headlined. During a song called the last song, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember what the song's
That's the
called.
spice affecting your thoughts now.
I can't remember what the
The
song was
spice
called.
is seeping in.
But yeah, no, I proposed to her during kind of Pearl Jam set, and the song that we I'll remember it in a bit. The song that we I proposed to her, we had played at our wedding. So I thought it was really, really cool.
Oh, right. I proposed to my wife in McDonald's, so you've got one up on me there.
Oh, come on.
That's a true story. That is a true story. That McDonald's is no longer there now. I think it's a Foot Locker. I love the way you're doing
our first jalapeno.
You're doing chili chasers.
Yeah.
Pepper chasers. Wow. Wow.
Tell me more about that. Come on.
Well, I met my wife in a bizarre situation. I was living in a homeless shelter, and she just gave birth to twin boys.
What?
Anyway, yeah, we got together just by. Our story sounds like, you remember the Woman's Own magazines, and you've always got the story in the back, and you've always got like homeless man. You know, I was homeless, I was destitute. We fell in love. It was that kind of story. Huh? This was 1999. And
where was this?
Oh, right. This was in Southampton. I stayed in a hostel, homeless shelter in Chichester, St James's Hostel. And it was quite bizarre because it was on a main road, and you used to have to queue up at a tree. And I think it was the first 14 were allowed in. Anyway, I got fed up and I hitchhiked back to Southampton and stayed on a friend's sofa. And my wife and we went to somebody else's house, and my wife was there, and it was the first time she'd been out without her children. They were 6 weeks old. And I kind of sat in her lap and said to my friend, "This is the girl I'm going to marry." And I went back to Chichester because obviously I had nowhere to go. And it was quite romantic. I used to ring her from a telephone box outside Chichester Cathedral every day at 4 o'clock. And I went back to Southampton to meet her again. And I fell asleep at her house. And her dad's quite old school. He's an old school man. I woke up in the morning and I went, oh my goodness, I've fallen asleep. And he went, "Oi, you, get your suitcase. If you love my daughter, you're moving in." And bang, that was 23 years yesterday. Oh but anyway, I proposed to her in McDonald's after about 2 years. And I never forget the man's face behind me. It was the look of shame and disgust. You know, she was eating a chicken burger, I was eating a McDonald's, and I went, "Should we get married then? Will you marry me?" And the man behind me just looked at me and just went, "Never gonna last, mate." And that's a true story. I proposed to her at McDonald's. And we've been married 20 years this year. And we were together that day that I told you about, you know, when I sat there in the kitchen in my friend's house. That was yesterday. So, yeah, I told you it was like a woman's own woman's own story. But let's get on to question 4, because what I love about your Facebook, and when you travel half to be a tourist, but half for a reason. And I like some of the stories. I was when you went into, I think, were you in Ireland or somewhere, and you kind of had a few words with a man in a pub that didn't want you there. I think he wasn't a gangster or something. So you've traveled a lot of places, and you've been into some dangerous situations, and you've interviewed some very different people, you know. What's your favorite place, and what place surprised you the most?
Oh, Jesus. That's a good question.
Have a drink of milk, Mark. Have a drink of milk.
All I've got here is big grapefruit juice. God, these are really, really good questions. I wasn't expecting this. Okay, tell me through that again.
Right
So
now,
I'm preparing the wing.
Okay, I've read a couple of stories about when you've been abroad and the people you've met. You know, you don't just do the whole holiday thing. You go out for a reason. Yeah. And I wanted to know what your favorite place was and what place surprised you, whether it was absolutely terrifying or it was a hidden gem or it was just nothing like the brochures or the internet said it was.
Ljubljana in Slovenia was very, very surprising. I got to go to a place that was very disturbing. It was really fucking awful. Sorry, I'm getting the brochure for the next hot sauce. It was really, really awful. I went to see a killing field and a place where thousands of people were were buried in the former Yugoslavia. That was part of the the wars and everything, and that was really, really awful. That was really, really dark. Sorry, what was the other?
And what was your favorite place? What place absolutely shocked you in a great way?
Shocked me in a great way.
Well, yeah, you know, what was your absolute favorite place? And
I love Berlin, and I'm going back there in a couple of weeks.
Poland, aren't you? You're going to Krakow, aren't you? Didn't I read?
Yeah. So I'm going to Krakow to there's a place near Krakow.
I apologise. 2 seconds. Oh, go on then. Go on. Can you open the door for us? Thank you. That's one of my dogs. Yeah, he's the very vocal one. But yeah, carry on.
So I'm going to Krakow to go and see Auschwitz. And
all right,
that's really, really near, kind of like Krakow, but no, the place that I really, really loved was Berlin, and seeing kind of like the Berlin Wall and all like, you know, the history and everything. You know, I've only really kind of like learned to, like we all do in older years. And not when we were in, school.
Yep.
Learn to appreciate kind of the wonderful thing that is in front of us or is behind us, and
yep.
we love love history, and it's a great place to go and see, you know, history and everything. And I don't do beach holidays very well.
Mm-hmm. So what's next in the way of sources? Didn't I see that you didn't you have a pamphlet there? It hasn't got a disclaimer in it, has it?
No, I've got a pamphlet, and it's the chef special. It's from Smoking Hot, handmade in Yorkshire. Well, it's Yorkshire, but it's it's made from in Barnsley,
All right.
Shout out
I've been to
to
Barnsley,
Kerry
actually.
King, Kerry King, who's from Barnsley, of our our friends who are from Butlins. Shout out to her. But yeah, so this one is the chef's special, and we shall a sharp sauce with a kick, great in soups, fish and chicken made with fresh garlic, lemons, and coriander. 7 out of 10.
See, that sounds nice. See, that sounds nice. I'm not a huge spice fan, but you just reading those ingredients there, that sounds quite enticing.
7 out of 10 on the what's it?
Really? Right. Let's get on with the next question. You've interviewed a lot of fascinating people on your podcast and blog, you know, on your YouTube channel, the Old Shoreham Road to Enlightenment. And if I can ask you, who's been your favorite and who would you like most on there next? So who, you don't have to say me. Who have you, who's your favorite guest so far? I mean, can I ask that question? Because that would, you know, that would kind of upset the other people that have been on your vlog. You know, if you can answer that question, who's been your favorite so far and who would you love? Who is the next target person you'd love to have on your YouTube channel?
Well, first of all, that's not hot at all.
Really?
Yeah,
It sounds flavoursome.
Yeah, no, it's great, but it's not hot at all. I mean, I have a bucket list of people, and I've you know, messaged a lot of people, but I would love to have the other half of the Dresden Dolls, Amanda Palmer.
Oh yeah, you did the you did
with Brian Viglione. Yeah, you know, I'd love to have the other half of that. I would love to have that video that did really, really well was Roddy Bottom from Faith and More. I would love to have a couple of the other guys. I would love to have Mike, who's the singer of that band, but he's going through some mental health problems, so he's and the band are not doing anything at the moment. But I got a really cool interview at a really interesting time for the band. I would love Courtney Love. She's probably the top of.
Wow.
Yeah, she's probably the top of the totem pole that I would love to have. Yeah, who would I like? You know, I would like a lot more authors. I think at the time, at this time. But yeah, no.
Well, actually, you saying that takes me on to my next question. If you're ready, what's next on the hot thing? How are you feeling? You know, how are you feeling? We're halfway through. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you still taste?
No, it's fine. That one was really like minimal. So this is the crystal sauce. It's a Louisiana sauce.
Oh.
And I got this from the Muslim shop around the corner.
Right.
And it's got a halal badge on it because it's not to be confused with the other hot sauces that are, you know, pork and beef based.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to kind of like, you know, make sure that it's pork free. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Right, we're gonna do this.
How's that taste? Good? Spicy or? Yep. Right. So we know you're a lover of books, Mark, and you're an author too. You know, with the Old Shoreham Road to Enlightenment, and you review a lot on a weekly basis. What made you fall in love with the written word? You know, what book did you read, and you know, and just it stayed in your mind, and that opened, you know, that opened your mind to reading. Everyone's got a book, whether it's, I don't know. I remember one of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck when I was at school, and I love that story, and that got me into reading. But you read a lot, you review a lot, you write a lot. What made you fall in love with books? Was there one book that you read and you thought, wow?
When my parents were divorcing, I went to live with my grandparents for a summer, and they turned me on to my grandparents were separated as well. So my grandfather was with someone else.
Yeah.
And she turned me, my step grandmother or whatever, she turned me on to Jane Austen. And it was it was a book called Emma that really kind of like turned me on to kind of like books and reading and everything. But I guess when I got busy and kind of got distracted with like the world and not the world, but working and everything, and especially in those kind of like years with Butlins and everything, moving into kind of like, I think I kind of like, didn't kind of read as much as I did. But the one book that turned me on after that was High Fidelity by Nick Hornby, which was a really cool film as well. But
John Cusack, wasn't it? High
yeah,
Fidelity. Yeah, I know it quite well, actually.
And Jack Black.
Yep, and isn't that the one where he sings "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye, and he calls the band the Catherine Turner Overdrive? Yeah,
you got it, man.
Yeah, that one scene is just Jack Black steals it, and he shreds it, and he nails it. Oh, wow.
Catherine Turner, was it Catherine Turner? Yeah.
Previously known as the Catherine Turner Overdrive or something like that. Yeah.
Man,
that's a brilliant scene.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah, that's a brilliant film. Actually, I'm a big fan.
Oh, I love that film. But I read the book before that, and that was a big, massive influence on me, and it got me back into reading.
All right. Okay. What's next on the source list? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're doing better than you thought.
Yeah, no, better than I thought. We're going to go with the Gunslinger, which is back on the what's it called? The ones that are what's the company name? Smoking Hot Chili Bees, they're called. Oof. And
I have a feeling, just hearing that, I have a feeling that this is going to give you a little bit of a kick, I think. I'm going to ask this question, but wait, I want to see you take that first mouthful.
There we go. Oh.
Has it got a kick to it? Right, now we've known each other since the 90s, and we share one love amongst everything else, and that's wrestling, a field in which you now work in. So I've got to ask this, I've got to ask this. Favorite match? You can't say Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, please. No. And right, favorite match? It's a two-part question. Favorite match, and who, in your opinion, was the most underrated wrestler ever? So your favorite match and the most underrated wrestler.
Oh God, you're really prepared. Money in the Bank, CM Punk, John Cena. Hands down,
Oh.
best match I've ever. Well, no, not best match because it was a bit clunky, but my most favorite match. I would say. What was the other question?
Most underrated wrestler. This should be interesting, actually.
No. Dolph Ziggler.
Do you know what? He's one of mine, actually. He should have got a bigger push. He looked physically like a champion. Yeah.
Well,
I'm 100% with you on that.
He's an absolute fucking stellar player, and he's been in that company
For a long time. Yeah.
More than anyone.
He reminds me of Kurt Hennig. He reminds me of Mr. Perfect. He just reminds me of him. Yeah, and you kind of think, and why didn't he get a bigger push? Now, we can't talk about the Rumble because I haven't watched it. I'm watching that this evening because I can't do all-nighters anymore. Seriously.
I'm really mad at you because I wanted to, before this, because pulling the curtain back, ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to do this on Friday. Before Leigh told me that
I was going to do it from London. It would have been epic.
But Leigh told me that he was going to London with his beautiful wife, and he was going to London with his beautiful wife, and he was like, "Oh no, we can still do this, man. Yeah, no problem." I'm like, "Do you know women? She's gonna be mad at me if you do this with your within your kind of within your date night to London."
Yeah.
So I was like, "No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to get on the bad side of your wife. Come on." Yeah.
We actually went out. We actually ended up going out and getting cocktails, which was. Wow, I'm drinking this cocktail with this candy floss in and all sorts. Yeah, it was great.
So
what's next? We went to an Italian that was next to the restaurant. A very, 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 very expensive Italian. Yeah.
What did you have to eat?
We had a cold meat platter to start with, with your cured meats and this amazing rosemary bread. It was incredible with these cheeses. And then my wife Jamie, she had like this ragu thing, and I had this pizza with this, and I had this pizza with this spicy sausage. I don't think it was sausage. I think it was just blobs of chilies, because I was sat there and I thought, this is all right. And then just bent down and said to my wife, just get me a drink. It blew my head off. But and then we had hand cut chips where they might as well have brought these chips in an egg cup. There was about 5 of them. That was £4.50. And then Jamie had a gin that was like £12. Yeah, it was a very expensive meal, but we'd saved and saved. And usually we're the kind of people that, we share this, we share that, we share that. We get 2 straws. But yeah, put it this way, when the bill come, I'm not asthmatic, but I could have had an asthma attack. Let's put it that way.
So Leigh thought it would be a really, really good idea in the middle of all of this to say, "Oh yeah, we'll still do the podcast." And I'm like, "You don't know women at all." And I'm like, "No fucking way am I going to get on the bad side of your wife." So, this
she's
is why
small.
we're doing this today.
She's small, but she's got a really good drop kick. Right.
Well, I hope she fucking appreciates this.
She does. Right. Number 8. Now, this is a question I ask a lot of people anyway. When you've had a couple of drinks and you're trying to put the world to rights. But if money was no object, what would you do in your life? If money was no object? And some people say, I wouldn't do any different. My life's my life. Come on, that's bullcrap. If money was no object, what would you like to do in life?
Jesus. Bloody hell! I thought you.
There must be somewhere you live.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know,
know, you
but
really thought about this.
something you do.
I would live in San Francisco. Loved it there when I lived there, or maybe New York. I loved New York, and I went to see that.
Oh, I love New
I
York.
would definitely live in America.
Oh yeah.
I would have maybe a house in San Francisco, and I would have an apartment in New York, living the Sex and City life, and I would travel around, do like a circle.
It's bizarre because me and my wife both answer the same question, got the same answers to you. New York, you know, my wife's obsessed with New York. We've been to New York. We went in the summer of 2012, and it was a magical experience. We saw Shakespeare in the Park with Al Pacino, and we listened to a jazz band and a poet, and we sat there eating in the park, you know, Central Park in the summer.
In the Park with Al Pacino.
We did.
Oh wow.
We did, and it was the hottest week, the hottest end of like a week in June that they've had in a number of years. And everyone says, I don't know about you, everyone says go to New York at Christmas. Do you know what? In the summer, it was beautiful. There was stuff going on. Even, you know, the joggers in the morning, and the people exercising in the park, and just people walking their dogs, and the sunshine. It was incredible. Yeah. So my answer would be the same as yours. Actually, we'd probably Greenwich Village, you know, or you know, have a place there. Wow, and just live the life, you know.
But I would also go and see all the other places that I haven't seen. But I would love to go to Japan, and Southeast Asia, and that's what I would like to do as well.
Yeah. So what's next on the spice?
Okay, so what was have we covered the rest of the question? What was the
well, no, we got that question, but we got two more.
What was the rest of the question?
Right, if money's no object, what would you do? I mean, you figured out where you'd live, but would you sit on your ass and enjoy the money while traveling, or would you, you know? I'd buy a bar. This is me. You know, I'd buy a British karaoke bar. You know, I'd have a British bar. You know, a spit and sawdust pub.
Where?
You know, in New York, I'd have a spit and sawdust pub in New York. You know, with grotty floors and. Remember those pubs? Remember Bognor? Bognor had pubs like that, you know, like, and you've lived in London, you know, those little boozers where, you know, you have the old man that tells the story at the end of the bar, and you've got the locals, and, you know, and sometimes the floor's a bit wet and sticky, you know, when you're walking and there's no toilet seat on the toilet.
What was the pub by the, what was the pub Bognor by?
The Hatters.
No, the Hatters, but the one by the train station.
The railway, no?
Terminus.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I'd have a spit and sawdust pub in New York.
I would buy the Terminus, and
all right.
I would buy the Terminus, and I would have you running.
Oh, do you know what? Oh, those were the days. So, but anyway, question 9. What's this? Oh my goodness!
So we got the Jamaican Scotch bonnet pepper sauce.
Oh,
Walker sword.
That sounds devastating.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
Oof.
About a little bit.
Yeah. Have you got the drink ready? Right. Question 9. What's next for Mark Farley? What have you got next in the pipeline? What's next? Well, you know, from here, you know, tell us about the stuff you've got coming up. Oh. Do you know what? I can feel the heat from here. Oh, remember, don't put your fingers near your eyes. You should have wore goggles for that one.
Why don't I bring some? I'm just going to get some towel.
Yeah. He's going to put his head in the fridge or freezer. You know that.
Oh my god. What's next for Mark Farley?
Yeah. Tell us what you've got coming up.
Oh yeah, I think I've got these in the right order. I'm quite impressed with myself. Yeah, I've got.
That sounds like it should be like.
I've got 4 more to go, and I think I've pretty much got them. Look,
Oh.
what we've got coming up is a really, really spicy Jamaican sauce. We've got California Reaper.
Oh.
And we've got some ghost pepper.
Oh.
So yeah,
I hope you've got the NHS on speed dial.
I came here representing, mate. Oh my god, that was yeah, that was. So I've got 4 wings and I've got 4 sauces. Okay, right.
Oh.
Sorry, screw back there a little bit. What you
So
saying?
what's next for you?
Oh, what's next for me?
What have you got coming up? What have you got? What plans have you got this year? We're in 2022. Restrictions are going. Where are you going to go, Mark Farley? What are you going to do?
Well, apart from this, I'd like to continue to work with the WWE. That would be really, really nice. But they kind of like get rid of people.
Oh, I'm going to interrupt you there. Because I actually name drop you. There's a friend of mine up the road, and he owns a bar that I go to every week. You know, you'd love it. Great live music, and he is the biggest wrestling fan, which is great. I can go in there, have a couple of pints, and we'll be chatting away. And someone will go, "You're not into that WWE crap," and they go, "You're barred." But I was telling I was saying my mate, an old friend of mine writes for WWE, and it's funny because he every now and again he'll go, "How's your mate getting on?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's all right." He's like, "It's cool. I know him by association now. I know someone that writes WWE."
No, okay.
He loves it. He's the landlord. But if anyone badmouths wrestling, says it's fake, he's like, "You're barred."
Well, wrestling is fake, but the physicality is real.
Yes, we know. We don't like using the word fake, but going back to the question, you want to write more for WWE, and no doubt, I know one of your little storylines has hit it big, but I haven't watched it yet, so no talking about that.
The women's Royal Rumble went down very, very well compared to the men's, shall we say?
Well, no spoilers. But come on, Mark. What's next? You want to write? Have you mapped out anything at all this year? I know you want to go. You've got a couple of places you're going to, but any other any other projects? Any other people coming up on your vlog?
No, not. Well, there's another person from Butlins who might be coming on to the vlog very, very soon. I'm not sure whether you know that person or not, but other people. You put the thing with this sort of thing is that you put a lot of these kind of like feelers out, and you get very, very little back, and it's very, very frustrating. It's very demoralizing. And it makes you think, well, should I really be doing this at all anymore? If nobody's going to kind of like, get back to you. So
you've got to carry it on though, mate, because you enjoy it, and we got to persevere, and email. People will get back to you. COVID's, Plan B's lifted. A lot of people going, back to their everyday lives. I've enjoyed it, and I know you've got a couple of trips already planned, but is there anywhere on your radar this year? I know because of COVID, it's put some of your plans. I was reading on Facebook whether you should do this and do that, and now we're going back to normal.
Well, no. Apart from Berlin and Krakow and going to Auschwitz and everything, going back to Prague is on my radar. And hopefully, I will do that in succession and before the summer, because in the summer it kind of gets like really pricey and everything. So
yeah.
Okay, so my next hot sauce is the Ancona extra hot pepper sauce. It's
as soon as it's got that word extra in it, you got to stay clear.
This is the hottest sauce that they do, and this is Jamaican sauce.
Ooh.
And they do a really nice kind of like sweet chili sauce that I put on a load of hot wings, and so yeah, here we go.
Oh. Yep. Burning yet?
Ah.
Yeah. Let's just let your viewers just soak this in, watching you in excruciating pain. Some people like watching other people in pain. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now, Mr. Farley?
About an 8. Oh, I've got 3 more.
Oh dear.
Including pepper sauce.
So living the life you've led so far, if you could bump into if you were your younger self, what advice would you give yourself?
Don't do this video.
No, but what advice would you give? What bit of advice would you give yourself?
Believe in yourself. Because maybe those dreams that you had, oh Jesus Christ. Believe in yourself, because it doesn't matter about how late in life things happen. Things happen. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe in yourself.
That's good advice. Right. So my next question, a lot of people ask this. You see a lot of shows like this. A lot of people ask this. 3 people that you'd like to take to dinner, whether they be, dead or alive. 3 people that you'd like to take, sit round and chat. Bottles of wine, good food. 3 people.
Courtney Love. Nelson Mandela.
Ooh.
Because I went to Robben Island,
really,
to see where he was incarcerated.
That's right.
And it was big on me. So yeah, no, I would say him. I'm gonna have a wrestling person, I think. The Rock.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's gonna have a lot of interesting stories.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, I
A
suppose
lot of,
growing
a
up
lot
as
of
well
really,
around.
really good advice.
Well, yeah, growing up around the people he grew up with as well. Yeah, yeah.
So
He
there
would
are
have some.
Nelson Mandela. What was the other one? Oh, yeah,
And you said Courtney Love.
yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
They're very, very different choices. You know, they'd make one great stable in WWE, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
So what's your next one? We're coming to our last question, and then, you know, obviously we might have a chat. But this question here, what's the one thing you would eradicate in life? That's the last question. The one thing that you love to get rid of in life. I thought I'd go with a deep one, you know, for the last question. You know, what's the one thing you'd eradicate?
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus. I thought these would be like quiz questions about wrestling. Bastard. I would eradicate I guess I would say hate, but it would be the people in this world who hijack the people in this world who would hijack politicians and political causes for their own intentions, because I don't think a lot of the political, especially in America, all the political sentiments are based on really what they feel is just what they can gain out of them. So I would eradicate what's the word? I don't know, just you know, bullshit ideas. What's the word?
You're allowed to say eradicate bullshit. You're allowed to say that.
Eradicate bullshit. Bullshit political opinions, or
right.
political kind of like, you know, people who kind of like, especially kind of like media people that kind of like hop onto kind of like, you know, ideas to gain clicks or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean we've seen a lot of that the last couple of years with you know, especially Twitter and everything else like that. Where yeah, but I won't go into politics because I'm my opinions are
Because you're a bloody MAGA hat.
Yeah, do you know what? It's because, Mr. Farley, I'm going very grey. Very grey. And as you know, I'm a university student now. So I've got to, like, you know, I thought, well, I'll get a nice hat, you know, because I'm a student now, and I hide the grey because I already walk with a cane. So I look like the dude from House, you know. So I thought, well, you know, I'll grab a hat and hide some of the grey.
We can talk about kind of like politics. I mean, where do you sit generally?
Huh?
Where do you sit generally?
On
politics.
Oh, that's a hard one. Am I a Boris fan? No. Am I a Labour fan? No. So I'm kind of stuck in limbo the last 2 years.
I'm exactly the same.
Is in a political limbo, you know, and that's what I'm going to say. It's there's been a lot of things I've seen when they changed the benefit system into this universal credit. I saw a lot of people struggling and going hungry and losing their deposits on that, losing their flats or losing their houses because they had to wait so long in between there. That's the one thing that kind of got me. Actually, that's the one thing that got me more into politics, you know, and the way the benefits system is structured and the way that just people that work and work and work still can't, you know, that they still can't put up with their bills, and I don't know. And then the whole COVID thing, you know, I am jabbed, and you know, I do wear a mask, and I was a bit paranoid like everyone else in that first lockdown. And again, I saw that take its toll, not just medically, but physically, but mentally on a lot of people. And, you know, it's just the whole thing about, it became the new politics around the table. You know, are you jabbed? Are you not? Are you jabbed? And you could know people for 20, 30 years that know your in and outs, know what makes you tick, you know how you are mentally. But yet, as soon as they disagree on the vaccines, people are falling out. You know, this is destroying families. It's bizarre. It's like when Trump, you know, when Trump was running, and you had those American families that were so divided, you know, because one was a Trump supporter and the other one wasn't. The vaccines had that kind of effect, that same effect at a dinner table. So yeah, politically, yeah, I'm in limbo.
Yeah, no,
It'd be interesting.
I've followed that with friends and family over this,
Yeah.
And it's awful, and I think that's the real shame, and that's the real thing that is going to be the legacy about this is because it divided so many people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And yeah, so I'm in political limbo. But, you know, there is another thing. You know, I'm at university, and at the moment, physically, we're in for 6 hours and we're full time. You know, you're having lessons from home, and physically you're in university, and they're saying this is because of COVID and everything else. And it doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm along for the journey, you know. So what's the weather like anyway, Brian? Have you got the sunshine out? We've actually sunshine here in Southampton.
Have you had any snow?
Snow?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, snow over, like, you know, just
No. It's been warm. Yesterday, London it's been oddly warm. We had a winter yet?
No, because back up north they had loads of snow. That's all.
They're going through. They're going through wind. The wind as well. Friends of mine live in near Glasgow, Sharon and Andy, and they woke up and half their garden had gone missing through all the wind, and they're getting it all from Scandinavia.
Half their garden had gone.
Yeah, no, yeah, seriously, half their garden was missing. They had one kid and no trampoline. That kid lived 3 doors up.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to back to Smoking Hot Chili Peas from Barnsley. Shout out to Kerry King from our Butlins friends. Yeah, the Firecracker Sauce is the next one.
That's another one that just sounds dangerous.
Okay, Firecracker Sauce. The smoky sauce made with liquid hickory and garlic, lovely kick, and great on chicken wings, which is great because that's what we do.
So we mentioned Butlins earlier on. Would you do it? Would you do it again? Would you do it all over again? Oh, there you go. I'll tell you what, I can feel that sweat through the camera. See, why are you following it up with that? That's insane.
Would I do it again? Well, yeah, absolutely, but I would do it differently. I think I would. I originally came to Butlins to be a redcoat. I originally came to Butlins to be a redcoat, and that's what I wanted to do because I did a tourism degree, and I wasn't old enough to be. You had to be 21 to be any sort of. you had to be 21 to be any sort of resort rep or work on the airplanes. So the only thing that you could do, they said to me, on my
holiday
course,
camps, yeah.
was to go to Butlins and be a redcoat.
Yeah.
And that's what I went to do. And I got shifted into the restaurants, and I went to a restaurant bar called Sweeney Todd's, and
I remember Sweeney Todd's. Yes.
And the people that ran that place, well, the people that ran like the whole catering thing was a man called Peter Gagan.
I remember him as well, yeah.
And he liked me so much, he wouldn't let me go to be a red cook because he liked me in the bar. So that was the end of my entertainment career.
I did. Do you know what? I had several different jobs, and after Butlins, I went on, and and I was an entertainer in Millrife, and then a little place in Torbay Holiday Park, and I loved every minute of it. But how we'd survived on no sleep and hardly any money. Do you remember getting paid in the little brown envelopes?
Yeah, you queued for the brown envelopes.
Yeah.
Well, I was fine with the amount of money that we got. You were?
Yeah. Yeah, I was, but I liked going off camp, off site to go and have a drink. I remember going to the nightclub Thursdays in Chichester. Remember Thursdays? Yeah. Oh wow, that was I used to love going there. Wow, we're so old now. We're so old. So what do you do? So what do you do? What do you do for fun up there in Brighton? I know you you go to a lot of live music and stuff like that. Have you got a local pub? Have you got a local bar that you go to? Have you become a local of a bar yet?
Not really, no. I mean, I've been here 6 years. I mean, well, not recently, but we not very far away. There's Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
But I don't have any local friends here.
Well, Mark, you got to find yourself like one of those spitting sawdust pubs, and you got to be one of those characters. Come on, take some hot sauce, offer it round. I'm sure you'll be, popular. How's your mouth feeling?
Yeah, pretty.
How's your brain feeling?
On the back of that note, actually, this is quite timely. This is the other Brighton hot sauce.
Local, all right.
And it's made with California Reaper chilies. This one, and the next one are over 1 million Scovilles.
Now, you don't have to do this. You know this, don't you? You don't have to do it.
All of these things, are over 1 million Scovilles. This Reaper sauce was given to me by the last girl I was with, shall we say, 2 years ago.
Oh, dating stories. You've told some great dating stories in the past, actually.
2 years ago, I kind of met someone, and she kind of messed me around a little bit. And I made a massive fuss over her on Valentine's Day 2 years ago, just before the pandemic, and I did a load of stuff. I went round her place. I cooked her a meal, gave her flowers, all the bells and whistles, and she gave me this sauce. And this is my first introduction to Brighton hot sauce. And so
Really?
yeah, this is their.
That's quite original. You know, that's quite an original Valentine's Day present. You know, here's chocolates, here's flowers, here's something that will hopefully burn your mouth out. Okay.
So this is the hottest sauce. It's called Reaper, and it's because it's made with California Reaper sauce, Reaper chili. So we're gonna. This is quite a loose sauce. You might hear. It's like Tabasco sauce. It's quite loose, so I've got to be kind of like careful when I pour it. So we're gonna go with a drum.
Oh, mate, you got any last words?
Oh, the next one is the last one, is even worse. So okay, there we go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, well done. Crikey, well done.
You need to talk.
Oh, okay. Listen, right. Here's a question that get you thinking as well. What was your favorite program growing up? Because at the moment, I'm introducing my 6-year-old to, like, remember Jason and the Will Warriors and Thundercats and He-Man and stuff like that. And what was your favorite thing growing up watching? Open a window. Call the NHS, quick.
I love Thundercats. And yeah, He-Man and the Master of the Universe was my jam. I love the show called Mask.
Mask was brilliant. Didn't it have the best soundtrack?
I love Mask.
Like a rock song. Mask is the mighty power that can save the day. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. That was amazing. They need to make a film.
I had the motorbike that turned into a helicopter.
Yeah, with the helicopter thingy, the green one. Yeah. Oh man, I had that. Oh man, that was brilliant.
Yeah, Mask. But growing up, I loved Quantum Leap.
And the news is they're doing a reboot. They're writing the reboot at the moment.
Reboot, yeah.
And unfortunately, Dean Scottwell, sorry, he died last year, didn't he?
Mm.
Dean Scottwell, and which, you know, for those of you who don't know, that's Al. And I was reading that they're gonna. That to me was just brilliant. Quantum Leap. That was a simple idea, but it was fantastic, wasn't it?
But yeah, they should. If they should do the show, but they should have Scott Bakula as the person that was supposed to be out, and then have.
I don't know. I think they should have someone looking for him. He's still leaping, so they should have like his daughter or his son or whatever. Step into the quantum leap accelerator and start looking for Sam. That would be. But the trouble is, then how do you drag on 3 or 4 series, with still looking for Sam and then give us a not so great ending, Yeah.
No, that's a good point. But I would love to see kind of like Scott Bakula in the Al role. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be, and it would be a great tribute, wouldn't it?
No, absolutely.
Instead of but the Marvel film. Are you a big fan of these Marvel films? Yes or no?
I like the DC sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
I like.
What did you think of
the films?
Have you seen The Peacemaker yet? Have you seen any episodes of The Peacemaker?
No,
John Cena, probably the best role he's ever played and ever with. That intro with them dancing is just brilliant. And Eagly the Eagle. I just think it's just. I showed my wife and I went. She was in the kitchen washing up, that sounds so cliche, doesn't it? My wife was in the kitchen cleaning up, washing up, and I went, "Come here, Jamie, come here. You got to see this." And she was just cracked up. You know, I think it's definitely saved the DC universe. To be honest, that's just my opinion.
I mean, shout out to kind of like Clint Mansell from Populate Yourself, who band that I really, really, really absolutely love. That did that song, intro song.
Really?
So yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, he wrote that.
Wow.
And yeah, no. So I'm sure it didn't have anything to do with the dance routine, but no.
It makes me want to buy an eagle, though. Not buy an eagle because I'm against all that, but everyone wants an eagle called Eagly. It's like watching the Lost Boys over again and wanting a dog called Nanook. You know, wanting.
Have you seen the episodes?
Well, Peacemaker, yeah. Well, I've seen 4 episodes so far.
4. How many are there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, maybe I've seen a bit more than that. But how do they get? I can't understand it. Is how much that is CGI and how much is the real thing, or trained bird.
Well, yeah, to hug him when he's in the garage, when he's hugging him. Look, man,
that's CGI, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. You can't get an eagle to hug you.
Yeah, well, you know, no, you wouldn't. It would probably peck your eyes out. But we all want a dream, don't we? We want an eagle called Eagly. But yeah, definitely. So you must be on your last one, and this.
I'm on the last wing.
Right. Now I've got to applaud you, Mr. Mark Farley, because some of them sounded nasty and scary, let alone tasting nasty and scary.
Okay,
you're a brave man.
The last one is from South Devon Chili Farm. It's their ghost chili sauce.
See, look at the color of that. Yeah, see, ghost. Yeah, no. Oh, see. Ugh.
So yeah, ghost chili.
How are you going to top this? You know, your next show, you're going to have to, like, I don't know, stand on your head or don't put it too near your nose, man. You don't want to be snorting that. Oh no.
Okay.
So, I don't think you'll be wanting hot sauce after this challenge for a little while, will you? Or are you going to keep your taste buds trained?
Hit me with another question.
Well, we're out of questions then, but what are you going to have for dinner tonight? How are you going to follow up that?
I'm not going to have anything.
You're going to have a sleep. That's what you're going to have. You're going to have, like, I don't know, yogurt. You're going to have a pot of yogurt or 27 fruits and just eat them all.
Okay.
Go. Oh man. I can't wait to sleep. Talk us through how you're feeling right now. Or can you feel? Do you know what? I think right now, viewers, you can see his head's probably like elsewhere. You know, he's done like a ghost thing, like a Luke Skywalker projection thing. Just imagine you're somewhere else and not in your own body. Have a drink, man. Have a drink. Go stick your face underneath the tap. Seriously. So how are you feeling right now on a scale of 1 to 10? We've asked you a couple of times.
Oh, God. The lovely thing that I like about hot sauce is not present there is that you kind of like, you know, taste something really nice and fruity and where's something that I really like?
Yeah.
The mango Brighton hot sauce. That was lovely.
Yeah. So that's out of all that you've had today, that would be your top one?
Yep.
Really?
hot sauce.
So come on, give them a
mango.
shout
Oh
out.
my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, Brighton hot sauce. I'll give you the links in everything that I've tried.
Yeah, I think you should actually, because
Links down in the below. But oh, mango, oh, fucking hell.
I think I might try the mango, or I might get my kids to try it. Well, I say kids, my older lot. They'd probably try it, to be honest. I think you need to, like, I don't know, get a Deliveroo with the nearest yogurt.
Oh God. Anyway.
Deary me. I've quite enjoyed this, you know.
Tell me more
Catching
about
up.
your life.
Me at the moment, as you know, I'm at university at the moment. I'm probably going through a midlife crisis, but can't afford a Porsche. Oh, let me just.
You can't afford a Porsche. Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I can't afford a Porsche. I want to do a midlife crisis, so I decided. Well, I do a little bit of writing myself, but only for TV and stuff. But
Oh, tell me about that.
well, I oh, excuse me.
It's your wife saying, why are you spending so much time with Mark?
Probably thinking, why can I hear a man in your bedroom screaming? But no, I'm
could you come away from your boyfriend and give me some love?
I came up with an idea for a couple of TV shows, and I pitched them, and they didn't pitch right. And I said, well, you know, how can I learn? So I applied for university, not thinking that I'd probably get in, and I got accepted. I'm doing TV production and writing at Solent University in Southampton. And it's going really well. I mean, I pitched an idea to the One Show for a short documentary about the most polluted river in Greater Manchester, the River Tame. It's all to do with microplastics, and hopefully I'm going to go away from this with a degree, hopefully, and then repitch a couple of ideas that I've had, and maybe start as a runner. I mean, I reached a point where I've been living with an illness since I was in my teenage years that progressed into something else, Parkinson's. And I reached at that point where I said, I want to do something. I don't want to, there's that famous poem and the end of it, don't go gentle into the night. And I thought, you know what, that resonates to me. I want to do something. And it's a kind of weird thing why I want to do it. And it's a bit a bit there, but I want to have my name to a bit of TV so that when I'm long gone, it's there on the screen, you know. And I love the idea of that. You know, producing, directing, editing. Editing. Wow, did I find that hard? Yeah. But yeah. So that's it, Mark. You know, I decided can't mope around no more. Going to university. I'm about 25 years older than most of the people on the course. My youngest daughter's the same age as them. You know, she's 18. But it's going all right. It's going all right. I'm quite enjoying it.
Good on you, man.
Yeah. It's I won't lie, the first month I found it a little bit hard, obviously mixing with other people on the course. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to be me again. You know, when you become a dad, and I was a granddad twice last year. You know, I had 2 grandsons born last year. And when you become a dad, a husband, this, whatever, you kind of forget along the way who you are. And I think this is that chance. I know that sounds deep, but this is that chance for me to be me. It's just going to cost me a lot of money in student debts, but hey ho.
Don't worry about that at all. Oh, I just
Don't put your finger in your eye, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I should have washed my hands first. Anyway.
Oh, dude, this has been fantastic.
Anyway,
this has been brilliant.
Thank you very, very much.
You're
After
welcome.
25 years, it was lovely seeing you.
And you.
Thank you very much for doing this for me, even though my marriage is killing me. I love you a lot, mate. Thank you very, very much.
Mate, you know that. Feelings mutual. And listen, I will make out to Brighton one day, and I'll drag you out to a karaoke bar. You might not like karaoke, but I bloody love it.
I did look into it, and there is a couple of places because I didn't know about it. But yeah, there is a couple of places.
That's it then, me and you, 1 week. I'll drag you along. I'll tell you what, we'll drag a couple of other people along that we know. I'm sure Denby, I'm sure Laura will be up for that. I'll tell you. And a couple of others.
Denby would be definitely down with that. I love
there
you,
go.
mate.
Yeah, man.
You soon,
take care, all right? Yeah, take care.
All right. Thank you, mate.
Bye everyone. Ta-da.